Welcome, brave soul, I am the Forgotten Storyteller. Before we begin, tap that like button if you dare, and drop a comment below telling me where in the world you're listening from. And if you make it to the end of this video, I hope to see you in the next story. I hope you're ready, because I am. Let's begin. Some places don't die. They linger. They rot, they fester, and they wait. They wait for the next poor soul to walk through their doors, and never walk out again. Our story today begins on a road that should have been forgotten, twisting through fog-thick mountains where the air clings damp against your skin and the trees crowd in like witnesses that refuse to speak. The headlights of a single beat-up sedan cut through the mist, the tired hum of its engine straining uphill, until at last, through the veil of pale gray, a shadow emerges. The Blackthorn Hotel. Once grand, marble steps, tall arched windows, chandeliers blazing like a beacon to wealth and decadence. But now it sags with age. Paint peels from the walls. The windows are black and hollow like the sockets of a skull. Ivy coils around the stone like veins. It does not welcome you. It warns you. And still, people go inside. Eli Carter didn't believe in warnings. He pulls into the gravel lot, kills the engine, and stares up at the structure. His hands rest heavy on the steering wheel. 32 years old, and already the world had wrung him dry. He had been fired and evicted. And now he's alone, single. He tells himself this is just a job. Nights at the front desk, cash under the table, quiet hours to piece his life back together. But the hotel, it looks back at him. It sizes him up. It knows something he doesn't. Inside, the lobby yawns with emptiness. The chandeliers flicker overhead, their bulbs buzzing like flies trapped in glass. The wallpaper is faded, the carpets smell faintly of mildew, and the air hangs cold, as if the building hasn't taken a full breath in years. Martin Blackthorn greets him with a handshake colder than the marble floor. Is polite but somewhat distant. His smile doesn't touch his eyes. His suit is pressed but outdated, like something pulled from another decade. He offers Eli a short tour, though his words are clipped and hurried. Just man the desk, Martin says. Check the guests in. Keep the register accurate, that's it. Eli nods. That's easy enough. Martin pauses. His expression flickers. Something unsaid teeters on his lips, but he swallows it back and instead mutters, "And don't go upstairs after midnight. If you hear anything, ignore it." Eli forces a chuckle. Ghost stories, right? Martin does not laugh. He only hands Eli a jangling ring of brass keys, heavy as if it's been waiting centuries to be carried. And then, just like that, the staff file out. They don't linger. They don't chat. They leave with their coats pulled tight, eyes fixed on the doors, never looking back. By 11 p.m., Eli is alone. The hotel seems to sigh around him. The lobby settles into silence. Only the faint ticking of an old grandfather clock fills the air, each tick dragging the hours toward midnight. Eli brews himself coffee, settles behind the desk with a worn paperback, and watches the grainy security monitors lined up like blind eyes across the counter. At first it's just small things. A draft brushes against the back of his neck, though the windows are shut tight. A chandelier flickers, though no storm rattles the power lines outside. He hears faint tapping in the walls, rhythmic, almost like knuckles rapping on hollow wood. He tells himself it's just the age of the building. Then at 12:46, the first guest of the night staggers in. A man, mid-40s, drunk, reeking of whiskey. He slurs his way through check-in, fumbling with his wallet. Eli, patient, hands him the brass key. Room 317. Top floor, end of the hall. The man smirks. Penthouse, huh? Fancy. He laughs too loud, too long, and disappears upstairs. Eli returns to his book, but unease nags at him. He remembers Martin's warning. Don't go upstairs after midnight. He shakes his head. Superstition. Old ghost stories to keep tourists intrigued. Still, he watches the monitors. At 2:17 a.m. exactly, every light in the hotel flickers. The monitors ripple with static. For a moment, every camera feed blurs into gray snow. Then one by one they clear, all except the third-floor hall. On that screen, a woman walks. She is tall, draped in a black 1940s-style gown. Her hair is pinned in an elegant bun, her posture regal, her stride slow. She doesn't look at the camera, doesn't falter, doesn't fade. She simply walks, passing each closed door, the hem of her dress whispering against the floor. Eli's chest tightens. He grabs the walkie, calls up to the guest. No answer. He should ignore it. He wants to ignore it. But against his better judgment, he takes a flashlight and heads upstairs. The third floor greets him with suffocating silence. The air is colder here, pressing against his skin. The hallway stretches long, lined with faded floral wallpaper and doors that all look the same. His footsteps echo, though he swears he hears another set following just behind him. But when he turns, nothing. Room 317 looms at the end. The brass number plate gleams faintly in the dark. He raises a hand to knock, when the door bursts open. The drunk man stands there, pale as chalk, sweat slick on his forehead. His hands tremble. His voice cracks. She was here. Eli frowns. Who? The old woman. At the foot of my bed. Just staring and whispering. She said, "This is my room. You don't belong here." The man shoves past Eli, nearly tripping down the hall, muttering curses under his breath. He doesn't wait for checkout. He doesn't wait for his refund. He just bolts. When Eli finally dares to peer into the room, it is empty. The bed untouched. The air warm, almost too warm, as if someone had just been sleeping there. He returns to the desk, shaken, telling himself it was a drunk's hallucination. But when he rewinds the security tape, his blood runs cold. The third-floor feed shows nothing. No woman. No figure. No movement. The tape is blank. And yet, his keyring feels heavier. As if something unseen has added one more key. The nights blur into each other. Each one worse than the last. Doors unlock themselves in the middle of the night. Guests complain of waking to find their belongings scattered across the floor. The elevator runs without being called, rattling upward, stopping only at the third floor before groaning back down. Eli hears whispers in the vents, a woman's voice, low and sharp, like teeth hidden in a smile. He tries to drown it out with music, with the television, with anything. But the whispers slip through. Sometimes it sounds like humming. A lullaby. A tune old and cracked with dust. He recognizes it, though he doesn't know why. One night, as he delivers spare towels to a guest, he hears it clearer, humming, drifting through the corridor. He freezes. His skin prickles. He turns the corner and finds Martin there, pacing, hands trembling, humming that very same tune. Martin startles when he notices Eli. His eyes dart nervously. He doesn't explain. He doesn't need to. Something is very, very wrong. Eli begins to dig. He searches the dusty basement archives on his breaks, scouring brittle newspapers, guest ledgers, boxes of forgotten belongings. And there he finds her. Eleanor Blackthorn, matriarch, hotel founder. Died in 1978 in room 317. The obituary says heart failure, but the clippings around it suggest otherwise. Rumors of poison. Whispers of betrayal. But the journal he uncovers, tucked inside a locked trunk, leather cover cracked with age, tells the truth. Her own hand. Her own words. Martin betrayed me. My son. My blood. He tried to strip me of what I built, steal it from beneath me. He will never succeed. No one will. I leave this house cursed. May no soul find peace under my roof. May no trespasser sleep unpunished. The walls will keep me. The keys will bind me. Forever. Eli closes the journal. His hands shake. And behind him, faint in the dark basement, a door slams shut. The sound of brass keys jingles softly in the shadows. The Blackthorn Hotel does not forgive. It remembers, and it is hungry. The basement door groans as Eli pushes it open, his breath sharp in the dust-heavy air. He stumbles out with the journal clutched to his chest, the echoes of keys still rattling in his ears. The lobby above looks unchanged, chandeliers flickering, shadows stretching long across the carpet, but it feels wrong. He can't shake the weight of unseen eyes tracking his every step. He tries to shake it off. He tells himself he's imagining things. But when he sets the journal down on the desk and flips it open again, the ink on one page has bled darker than before, fresh like it's only just been written. The keeper will come. The keeper will listen. Eli slams the book shut. His pulse hammers. He doesn't know why, but the words feel directed at him. A few hours crawl by. Guests toss and turn in their rooms above. A woman calls down complaining of scratches on her arms. Another says she woke to find her suitcase unzipped, clothes folded neatly on the floor, though she swears she left it locked. Eli apologizes, offers refunds, but inside he knows money won't keep them safe. The monitors continue to glitch. Every night at 2:17 a.m., the same distortion. Every night, the third floor hums with interference. And every night, Eleanor walks. Her figure drifts down the hallway, stately and slow, her face hidden in shadow. Sometimes she pauses at the camera. Sometimes she turns her head as though she knows Eli is watching. One night, when she stops beneath a light, he sees her face for the first time. She had hollow eye sockets. a jaw locked in a scream that never ends, her skin pale as wax, and around her neck, a brass key glinting faintly in the static. Eli can't look away. He whispers under his breath, "What do you want?" The screen flickers, the feed cuts out, and when it returns, Eleanor is gone. But a single word has burned itself into the footage, blackened like a scar. "I want to keep her." Eli turns to Martin for answers. He corners him in the supply room at dawn, when the first gray light creeps through the cracked blinds. "What is happening here?" Eli demands. His voice shakes despite himself. "Who is she? Why is she?" Martin raises a hand, trembling. His eyes are red-rimmed, sleepless. He sighs as though carrying the weight of decades. "You think you're the first?" he whispers. "You're not." She chooses. Always chooses. Staff, guests, anyone foolish enough to stay. She doesn't want an heir. She doesn't want money. She wants a keeper. Someone to guard her home, to carry her keys, to keep the curse alive. Eli shakes his head. "That's insane." Martin lets out a broken laugh. "Do you think I run this place by choice? She won't let me leave. I've tried. God, I've tried." He lifts his shirt slightly, revealing scars across his ribs, long, jagged scratches carved deep. "This is what happens when you defy her." Eli stares, cold sinking into his stomach. Martin lowers the shirt, voice hollow. "One day she'll tire of me. One day she'll pass the keys to someone new. Maybe," his eyes lift, sharp, almost pitying. "Maybe that's you." Eli refuses to believe it. He refuses. But as he walks back to the front desk, his pockets feel heavier. He reaches inside. Another brass key. One he swears wasn't there before. That night, the haunting worsens. The lights don't just flicker. They burst, shattering glass across the carpet. The phones ring, every line all at once. When Eli answers, silence. Then faintly, humming. That lullaby. The elevator clanks to life, rising though no one calls it. The doors slide open. Inside, only a single brass key hangs from the handrail, swaying gently as if someone invisible has just let it go. Eli doesn't take it. But when he returns to the desk, it's already on his keyring. The hours drag toward dawn. At 3:33 a.m., every monitor cuts to black. For a moment, the hotel is swallowed in silence. Then one by one, each screen flickers back to life. Not showing the halls. Not showing the lobby. Not showing anything Eli recognizes. They show him. Dozens of angles. His own face, pale and drawn, staring at the monitors. His own figure pacing the lobby. His own body frozen behind the desk as if he's already been sitting there forever. And in each frame, Eleanor stands behind him. Watching. Always watching. Eli shuts the monitors off. He can't breathe. His hands tremble so violently he nearly drops the journal. He flips through, frantic, searching for answers. And there, at the very back, scrawled across the final page in slashing ink. "He stole from me and he lied. He betrayed me. But not him. Not the son. The boy in the uniform. The clerk. He will listen. He will see and he will do." The words blur as his vision swims. He grips the desk, cold sweat dripping down his temples. It isn't Martin she wants. It isn't the guest. It's him. The seventh night. The town below is drowned in fog. The mountains are black silhouettes against the pale sky. The Blackthorn Hotel looms, silent as a mausoleum. Inside, the power dies. No flickering, no warning. Just darkness. Emergency lights click on, casting everything in red shadows like veins pulsing through the halls. The guests scream upstairs, doors slamming. The elevator grinds to a halt mid-shaft. Phones buzz with dead air. And then just silence. Only the sound of Eli's own heartbeat. He clutches the flashlight, breath ragged, scanning the lobby. That's when he sees her. Eleanor, standing at the end of the corridor. Her dress drags across the floor, black silk shimmering faintly under the emergency lights. Her face is pale, lips drawn into something between a sneer and a smile. In her hand dangles a single rusted hotel key. She doesn't speak. She points. To the stairwell. Room 317. Eli's body moves before his mind does. He climbs, each step heavier than the last. The walls seem to press closer, wallpaper peeling like skin, air thick with dust and rot. The hum of that lullaby echoes faintly, though no one sings it. At the top, the hallway yawns into darkness. Every door shut except one. Room 317. Its door is ajar, a faint golden glow spilling out. Eli pushes it open. Inside, the room is pristine. Unlike the others, untouched by rot. The bed is perfectly made. The air warm, carrying a faint scent of lavender and old perfume. Feels lived in. Occupied. He steps toward the mirror above the vanity. His flashlight beam catches the glass. And he freezes. The reflection is not his own. It's hers. Eleanor Blackthorn. Regal but terrifying. Eyes hollow but sharp as daggers. She leans close, lips moving though the room remains silent. Then at last he hears her voice, a whisper in his mind, dry as dust, sharp as glass. You listen. You see. You'll do. The rusted key drops into his palm. It was very cold and heavy. Binding. Eli stumbles back, shaking his head, whispering, "No. No, I'm not." The lights in the room flare. The door slams shut. Eleanor's voice rises in his skull, deafening, overlapping whispers clawing at his thoughts. You must stay and guard forever. He clutches his head, screaming. The room seems to twist, walls bending inward, mirror shattering, shards raining around him. In every fragment, her face stares back. Dozens of her, smiling and waiting. The key burns in his palm. He drops it, but when it clatters to the floor, another appears in its place. Then another. Then another. Soon his hands are full, brass keys spilling between his fingers, raining across the carpet, multiplying endlessly. He collapses to his knees. The lullaby hums through the air, soft and comforting, but somehow it feels deadly. And then silence. The lights return. The room is still. The keys are gone. Only one remains, hanging heavy from his neck. She has chosen. And the Blackthorn Hotel has its new keeper. Dawn should bring peace. The night should end. But in the Blackthorn Hotel, there is no dawn. Eli awakens behind the desk, head slumped forward, eyes dry and raw. His neck aches. He reaches up instinctively and finds the brass key dangling there on a chain, cool against his skin. His stomach lurches. He doesn't remember putting it there. The lobby is quiet. Too quiet. No guests pass through, no footsteps echo above. The hotel feels emptied, hollowed. Yet Eli knows it isn't empty at all. It's watching. The front doors loom, heavy oak and brass. He rises, his breath shallow, and pushes against them with all his strength. They do not budge. He slams his shoulder, rattles the handles, shouts until his throat burns. Nothing. He finds the phones, dead. The lines cut. Static hums faintly in the receiver, but beneath it, so faint he almost misses it, he hears the lullaby again. He hurls the receiver down. His hands tremble. He stumbles into the back corridors, through the kitchen, the boiler room, the laundry, searching desperately for a window, a door, anything. Each one sealed, locked tight. The hotel has closed its grip. As hours drag on, he slumps into a chair in the lobby, chest heaving. His coffee has gone cold. The grandfather clock ticks. He can hear it louder than ever, like each second is hammering nails into a coffin. And then, a sound. The crunch of gravel outside. Headlights sweep faintly across the lobby. It's a car, someone is here. Eli surges to his feet. He runs to the front desk, fumbling with the register, trying to compose himself. The doors creak, then slowly swing open, though he never touched them. Martin Blackthorn steps inside. But not as Eli remembers him. His face is gray, gaunt, eyes sunken like he hasn't slept in years. His suit hangs loose on his thin frame, and his hands shake as if from cold. Eli rushes to him. Martin, thank God. The hotel, it's... Martin cuts him off with a hollow laugh. It's not joy. It's resignation. You tried, didn't you? Tried to leave. We all do. Eli freezes. Wait, what do you mean by we? Martin drifts past him, gaze sweeping over the chandeliers, the desk, the staircase. His lips press into a thin line. You think I own this place? You think I stayed because I wanted to? He turns, eyes burning with a desperate bitterness. I've been trapped here for 30 years. Feeding her. Keeping her hotel alive so she'll spare me just one more day. One more night. Eli shakes his head. No, that's impossible. Martin's laugh cracks into a sob. He grips the edge of the desk, leaning close. His breath rattles. I tried to sell it. I tried to run. She followed me. She burned down the house I bought in town. Killed the dog I left behind. She drags me back every time. You don't own the Blackthorn Hotel. The Blackthorn Hotel owns you. Eli's throat tightens. He reaches for the key at his neck, tries to rip it off, but the chain digs into his skin. It won't break. His hands shake harder. Martin's voice softens, a ghost of pity. You feel it, don't you? The weight that pull. She's chosen you now. No. Eli shouts. I won't. The lights overhead flare white hot, then shatter, raining glass. The chandeliers sway violently. The walls groan as though the entire building is breathing in one long rattling gasp. And then silence. From the staircase above, Eleanor descends. Her form glides, each step deliberate. Her eyes glisten hollow, her face calm, serene, terrible. The black dress flows behind her, dragging like funeral cloth. Martin collapses against the wall, whispering, "She's here, she's here." Eli backs away, but she doesn't look at Martin. She doesn't look at anyone but Eli. Her hand rises. The rusted key glimmers in her fingers. She tilts her head. No words this time. She doesn't need them. Eli understands. He is the keeper now. The night stretches on. At some point, Martin disappears. Eli doesn't remember when, doesn't remember where he went. Perhaps he finally broke. Perhaps the hotel took him whole. Perhaps he never existed at all. All Eli knows is that when the clock strikes 6 a.m., the lobby doors creak open. A young man steps in, maybe 22, nervous, clutching a duffel bag. He glances around, unimpressed. "I'm supposed to start training tonight?" The overnight desk shift. Eli sits there, stiff in the chair, a vintage brass key hanging from his neck. His eyes are bloodshot, distant, but his lips curl into the faintest smile. "Just do your job," Eli says, his voice low, steady. "Don't go upstairs after midnight. And if you hear anything," his eyes lift, glinting with something that isn't quite his own, "ignore it." The boy chuckles nervously, not understanding. He drops his bag behind the desk, ready to begin. The security monitors. Shows grainy footage, then flickering. The third-floor hallway stretches empty. And then, for a split second, two figures appear. It was Eleanor and Eli. Walking side by side, dressed in 1940s uniforms, keys dangling from their belts, eyes fixed on the endless corridor ahead. Some places don't die. They linger. They may rot slightly. But they wait. And when the door creaks open, when footsteps cross the threshold, the house smiles. Because it knows another keeper has come home. Let us know in the comments, after you've seen the first unexplained event, would you have gone back to work there?
Ready for spine-chilling tales that will haunt your thoughts. Subscribe to Forgotten Storyteller for eerie narrations, unsettling mysteries, and haunting stories you won't forget. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a story, because some stories refuse to stay buried. Join us, if you dare.